I'm Alan Stern,
I'm Maivu,
and we're really excited about Landscape Smart because our backyard is a disaster.
and we're clueless as to what to do with our yard.
So while we have the best intentions, we need help.
Desperately. We're willing to roll up our sleeves and work hard and do whatever is needed.
I swear we did not call each other before this meeting, correct? On what we were going to wear. But I have a feeling blue's going to be in there somehow, some way, you think?
I hope so. It's one of my favorite colors.
What else besides the color blue would you like to see back there?
A place for the family to hang out and possibly a place for the kids to play. And I'm not looking for a swing set backyard. I mean,
Sure.
we can go to the park for that, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have a safe place for the kids to play and we can hang out with them.
All right, Alan, you're in agreement with that?
Oh, completely. I'd also like a place for us to kind of relax. I think that would be nice. And I really want to see some grass back there. I'm tired of the weeds that we have there now.
Okay, well, I got a guy. He's a great designer, very hip and outside the box kind of guy. I think you're going to love him. His name is Sean Quigley.
Hi. Well, it's a blank slate almost, so that's good.
I wish it was blank.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's covered with a lot of stuff right now. And we're also looking for something that the kids can enjoy and we all can enjoy. So something that's fun for them and really nice and relaxing for us.
I think if we create a couple rooms here, we can make it, it feels big and open right now, but if we divide it up, it'll feel larger than it does now, I think.
Well, that'd be great.
Get a nice Asian theme, a couple rooms, a little hideaway, so you can get away from the kids or so the kids can get away from you.
Oh, that's a good idea.
How's
too.
that sound?
That sounds great.
Sean is going to divide up the rectangular yard and turn it into a relaxing Asian-inspired garden.
One of the biggest challenges of this backyard is trying to find a way to break it up into a couple of rooms, which I like to do with small spaces. When there's nothing to work around, no reason to put a room somewhere, then I've got to come up with a reason to put it there.
An entrance patio will flow outside.
I want to keep that flat plane going out and make a nice big usable space where they can hang out and barbecue and entertain. So we're going to surround it with flagstone.
And red decomposed granite. Sean wants a stream to flow through the yard, but he also wants it to be safe for the kids.
We're going to do a stream bed, and rather than run water through it, we're going to put some tumbled glass for color.
A bridge will go over the stream.
Installing a bridge will make it feel bigger. It'll really divide up those two rooms and make them feel like two separate spaces.
A tall arbor with arches will become a grand entrance to the yard.
I like to get vertical elements into gardens because I've got a big flat space. It's nice to go up in a space if you can't go out. It's unique in that it mimics the bridge.
The back area will be covered with pea gravel. A bench that matches the arbor and the bridge will sit on top of the gravel.
Benches are great in gardens, whether you use them or not. They make it feel tranquil and like a home. We're, again, including another arch into the bench just to repeat that theme. And I think you'll be able to see all three arches from the main landing.
There will be 2 planting beds, one for herbs and one for sand. Once the kids grow up, the second box can become a vegetable bed.
It creates different levels, helps divide up the rooms. What we're going to do that's smart is we're going to take all the concrete that's here that we have to bust out anyways and dry lay that into a couple of beds.
Finally, a unique kidney-shaped lawn and lots of plant foliage that will sway in the breeze.
So, the plan has been laid out. What are you taking away from this design?
You know, I'm really surprised to see so many different elements in a small space, but I'm excited to see it come to place. What do you think?
Well, I was happy that the rectangle was gone. So that's big for me. And this river, I really want to see that come to life.
Pretty intriguing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So now we just got to make it happen. You guys ready to jump on board?
Yeah, I'm ready to work.
let's go.
It's day 1, and our crew is getting rid of the old grass and breaking up all the concrete. There's already a big difference. Now the yard is ready to build on. We're adding bender board in the form of a kidney. A new lawn will eventually fit into this shape. A dry stream bed will run through the yard. Our designer Sean gets his crew started on digging the trench for it. Contractor Neil Rodenmeyer is here to help too. He's showing Alan how to set the posts for the arbor.
So what we're going to be doing is driving 2 stakes on each side.
We've already dug the holes for the posts. The trick is to support them with the plank on one side, then pour the concrete in and let them set.
The reason for that is that we're about to put a very large piece of lumber right up against it and have that sort of help us in the whole process of getting it nice and plumb.
I'm thinking it's big.
The rocks for the riverbed have arrived.
So these ones are the smoother rocks for around the dry stream bed.
Sean and Mai are spreading several sizes of rocks into the trench.
You just don't throw a bunch of rocks in here. You've got the small with the large, right? Is that?
Yeah, you put the small ones down the center because the real stream beds, the small ones are pushed along by the water, but then you work up to larger ones on the side. Right now we're kind of just throwing in place. We're going to randomize it a little bit to make it look a little less man-made.
We're also adding some plants so the river looks more natural.
We have iris, because there are varieties of iris that will grow in water, and papyrus. And it'll get quite a bit taller, too.
I just like the fact that we have an actual riverbed, but no water in there, so it's safe for the little kids.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Maintenance-free.
Yeah. Visually beautiful.
Coming up, a bridge over the River Mai, a new use for the old concrete,
You don't want to stack them like that?
and tumbled glass instead of water.
Pretty kid-friendly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
When Landscape Smart returns.
This program brought to you.
We're back in Alan and Mai's yard. The dry riverbed that runs through the yard's been filled with stones and plants. Now, Neil and Alan are building a bridge to go over the stream bed.
We have 3 rooms in this garden. The bridge is the transition from one to the next.
So there's a whole purpose behind the bridge.
Yeah, it gives you a reason to go there. It gives you a nice way to go to the kind of hidden room.
Once the wood is cut, they start on the frame.
Now we're just figuring out exactly where our blocking is going to go, and that entails figuring out exactly where the joists are going to go.
How is this bridge going to go together?
Pretty simple. We're just framing out a rectangle and putting 4 legs on it. We're going to dig the holes and drop this kind of table-like structure into the holes, level it out, and then cut arches out of wood that go on the side. So it'll appear like a nice arched bridge.
Everything's in place to start drilling. We added 3 pieces of wood in the center for extra support. Now the legs go on. We're finishing the frame by putting 2x6 planks across the top. Once that's done, we bring it out back and set it in concrete.
Bridge over the River Mai. There you go.
Here's a smart idea. We're adding wooden arches to the sides. The bridge is flat, but the illusion creates an arched bridge. We're using the old concrete that our crew ripped up to build a sandbox. This saves money because it's expensive to haul off heavy concrete. And we don't have to buy new materials.
We're also using recycled concrete, right, for the raised beds?
Right, we had a whole strip, a rectangular strip of concrete back there, and it was enough work to bust it up. We didn't want to have to haul it out and take it to the dump, so we're going to dry stack it to make 2 raised beds. One's going to be an herb garden, the other one's going to, for the short run, be a sandbox for the kids, and when they get older, they can turn it into another raised bed.
Flat side down, so the rough side up.
And then we'll do rough on rough with the flat side up.
Okay, for the final cap.
We're piecing it together with the straight edges facing out. The sandbox will have a nice, flowing, organic shape.
So one more level up to here, this level.
Yeah, all the way around, and then put the liner in, and then put the last layer on top.
Okay.
We're adding landscaper's cloth to keep the weeds from popping up. And then the sand goes in.
Do you ever think a sandbox would look like that?
No, it's a very cool sandbox. You know, kids love to play in the sand. Sophie loves to play with her little brother Jack, and Jack is at that age where the sandbox is a great toy. So it's going to be fun for both of them. I just know it.
Sean wants to make a statement with an entrance patio made from flagstone and red decomposed granite. We've added bender board to give it the shape of a half circle and sand to set the flagstone.
Position around the perimeter. It's a way to save on stone price and also on difficulty in installing it, because if you've got to match stones on all sides, it's a lot of work.
The flagstone will only cover the perimeter. We're dumping the red decomposed granite on the patio.
That's a color DG.
Yeah,
I mean, that to me really strikes me as being really different. Is it?
yeah, that's the reason we chose it, because you see a lot of the yellow DG and the bluish gray DG,
Yeah.
which are great materials, but they get used a lot. So we're trying to get a lot of color into the garden. So we have this, it's called Desert Rose. It's kind of a reddish, a faint red.
Is it hard to find? Is it expensive?
It's not any more expensive. I only know one source that carries it. I keep telling all the other stone yards that they should carry it, so
Yeah.
I can get it from anybody.
Once we tamp it down, it'll harden to create a sturdy patio integrating the surrounding flagstone.
I've never seen red DG you excited about that going in your landing over there?
You know, we like red. Red is actually a good color in the Asian culture, so I think that's a good sign.
Cool.
Before we call it a day, we're adding some sparkle to the stream bed.
Now we're almost done with the riverbed. The last thing we got to do is the glass.
Oh, the tumble glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like that idea?
It looks beautiful in the bucket right now, and I can only imagine what it's going to look like, but I think it's going to exceed my imagination and my expectations, so I can't wait.
Sean found bright-colored tumbled glass that'll look like water when it's lying on the rocks.
To keep the budget low, and also because we have kids in the garden.
Yeah.
Instead of actual water, we're using tumbled glass for the water.
Now, where do you get the tumble glass? I mean,
It's from a recycled place. They collect bottles and bust them up and tumble them and soften the edges. So you
soften up the edges.
yeah, you can walk on them.
Kid friendly. So when did you get the idea? Okay, I'm going to use blue beveled glass for the water.
When I realized we didn't have time to do a real water feature. So I mean, often that happens. If you're limited for whatever reason, you come up with creative ideas.
And I
Stuff
like the
all
fact
over
that
the place.
it's recycled glass.
Day one is coming to a close, and we accomplished a lot.
Overall, what do you think?
I'm so excited. I mean, I think it's awesome. Love the bridge, love the sandbox,
yeah.
and that riverbed is just gorgeous. So, can't wait to see what it's going to.
Everybody, let's chill.
A rock retaining wall,
We usually move every stone at least 3 times.
Before you get it right?
Yeah.
and lots of Asian plants. When Landscape Smart returns.
Hi, I'm Bob.
Day 2 begins on Alan and Mai's Asian garden. Today we have to finish the arbor, put up a retaining wall, create a bench, and get all the plants in the ground.
I'm feeling good this morning because I have some ibuprofen in me. I was a little sore last night. I know we have a big day ahead of us today. A lot of planting that's going to happen, and I'm really looking forward to that.
The concrete for the arbor set overnight, so now we can add the arches. So far, both the arbor and bridge have arching elements. That theme will continue with the bench.
As you can see here on the plans, you've got a really beautiful design. This same effect that we got with the arbors is going to be arching here and arching on the backrest.
The simple frame is easy to put together.
On this side, when you cut it, you'll actually be able to see the line.
I see.
And then you'll just go right through it.
Perfect. So what you want to do is kind of think about this being parallel to this at all times, and also. Good stuff.
Wow, I think it's good.
Hi. How do you feel about using a jigsaw?
I don't think I'm.
You don't think you're quite there yet?
No, not today.
Well,
Maybe next project.
Using a jigsaw requires a steady hand and a little bit of practice.
excellent. What do you think? You could have done that, right?
No. Not today.
It's really all about practice. And in terms of actually using this tool, this one in particular has a tendency to wander a little bit. You just want to keep a good solid pressure. In this case, the clamps are really important.
A little sanding is needed. To complete the bench, we screw down 1x4s for the seat.
Go. See? Oh, look at that.
And add the arched backrest.
Did you have fun working on it?
I did. He's a great teacher.
Bench a test.
Mai? Your hideaway.
I want to go take a nap on that bench right now.
We're building a retaining wall as a transition.
We're going to bring these rocks down to hold that hillside.
It's going in as a dry stack?
Dry stack, yeah. It'll lean into the wall. Big boulders on the bottom, small boulders on top.
How did you like the
That I see it in place, it looks awesome, and I think Jack's gonna have a lot of fun with it.
I never imagined it could be like this. Sean added a lot of elevation. It's really cool.
Sean chose plants with varying foliage for the Asian theme.
We're going to put 3 over here, and then 3 will go up there when they're done.
A maple tree on one side, a magnolia on the other, and lots of grasses.
In the winter, these will turn brown and just cut them down to the ground. then you won't see them. We'll have the pebbles in here, and then
come
following
back
spring
up.
they'll come back up.
And Sean, you know, I couldn't imagine.
Now the garden has separate areas. And they all have color, texture, and a zen-like feel to them. A flagstone patio accented with red DG creates a main landing. And a tall arbor creates an entranceway into the rest of the yard. Where there was dry grass, now is a dry creek bed with sparkling tumbled glass that flows under a redwood bridge. And in the corner by the fence, an arching bench sits on top of the pea gravel. All the old concrete was recycled to make a sandbox, while a matching herb garden sits on the other side of the yard. Finally, a fresh new lawn, a maple tree, and lots of Asian grasses.
The bridge is looking pretty sweet.
Thanks. You know, I think it's one of the smartest parts. It's really simple to build. It's like building a box, but added the arches on afterwards, so it looks and feels like a bridge.
It's got a nice flow to it.
Yeah, I like
What
it.
are some, I mean, there's so much going on in this yard, man. I'm just blown away. What are some of the other smart elements to this yard?
You're sitting on one?
Oh, yeah, the sandbox.
The
I forgot all
sandbox.
about it. Yeah, yeah. And how so?
Mostly in that we didn't have to haul out all the concrete.
Right.
We busted up the concrete path that was here and did a dry stack and filled it with sand so the kids could play in it.
And down the road, if they want to make it into a planter bed,
Yeah.
it's a piece of cake, pretty
Exactly.
much, right? And then the river, I got to tell you, when we first started thinking about this and toying around with it, I thought, how's this going to play? But man, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I really wanted to put water in here, and we got to keep the budget low. We don't want to get pumps and filters and everything in here, so we created the same bed we would with a regular water feature, but put the glass in. It's less expensive and safe for the kids.
And you can't have a river and a bridge and not cross over it.
All right.
We're going over to the other side. And there's mine, Alan. Hey, you guys, how's it going?
Good.
You look like you're having a nice, peaceful, quiet moment here.
In the tranquil corner.
Yeah. You liking the new yard?
Love it.
Yeah, it's really great. We love it.
We started with a pool without water, and now we have a river without water. But I really love the river. I like the tumble glass. Having that, it's a great way to create water and make it safe for the kids.
I mean, if you close your eyes, you can almost hear the water. You know, that's how cool that is. Alan, I saw you eyeing the beautiful tree over there.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, but the Japanese maple is really one of my favorite parts of this yard. I look out my bedroom window and I see that beautiful color, and it just really pops for me. The
Yeah.
coral bark is beautiful.
That is an awesome red.
Yeah, it really is.
Sean, thumbs up on the job.
Oh, thank you.
Turned out great. And congrats on your new yard, you guys.
Thanks. Sean, we love it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks. You're
It
welcome.
was great
Yeah.
working with you.
Yeah, fun.
Thanks.
It's a yard built for meandering, and that's exactly what we're going to do. To the sandbox? To the sandbox and beyond. I'm Paul Granelli. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Let's Get Smart.